Thank you so much for your purchase time here. Thank you so much for deciding to hang out with me today and explore this fascinating fucking ocean of our feelings, happiness, and thoughts in life, etc. First of all, this isn't my opinion, this is what neuroscience shows. So, the atmosphere you feel around you, everything from problems, situations, how boring something feels, how exciting something feels, the whole entire atmosphere of your life to any detail you can possibly imagine is being generated by something very important, and that's called hormones like dopamine and serotonin. Right now, your brain is reading signals like dopamine and serotonin. They're just fucking crazy how they work. Not as chemicals. Your brain is reading signals like dopamine and serotonin, not as chemicals, but as instructions. Dopamine asks, is anything here around me worth paying attention to? Serotonin asks something fucking deeper. Is it safe to exist right now? And based on those two signals alone, your brain builds the entire feeling of reality. Not the facts, the feeling layer on top of everything, the whole entire atmosphere. So the same room, the same music, the same life can feel completely different. When dopamine is higher, the world feels alive, like something could happen, like there's energy, movement, meaning. But when dopamine drops, that same world becomes flat. Nothing pulls you in. Nothing feels worth it. Even things you used to love feel empty. And now imagine something more extreme. Imagine if dopamine dropped close to zero. Your brain wouldn't just feel unmotivated. It would stop assigning importance to anything. No drive, no interest, no reason to move, speak, or act. And basically, the whole entire atmosphere of your life wouldn't just feel depressing. It would feel like being dead or like being in a grave, buried alive, maybe even worse. And it wouldn't think that because life is meaningless, but it would do that, it would feel like that because your brain lost the signal that makes things feel worth pursuing. And when serotonin drops, your brain shifts into threat mode, and suddenly everything feels slightly off. Not obviously dangerous, just like heavy atmosphere. Like imagine the heaviest atmosphere ever. Like the air itself has weight. And if serotonin dropped extremely low, your brain wouldn't just feel sad or depressed. Even though depression is one of the most painful illnesses ever, and it's a very important illness to be aware of, your brain wouldn't just feel sad. It would start interpreting the world as unsafe. Your own thoughts could turn against you. Neutral moments could feel negative. Even being alone could feel like something is like fire alarm. And here's the part most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't tell you this is chemistry. It tells you this is fucking reality. So you don't think, oh, my state changed. You think, life feels completely different. This place feels wrong. Something is off. Beneath that, the internal signals your brain used to construct that feeling came from internal body signals, and there are hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. And also, depression is a very, very serious illness that we need to be aware of. And people who shame depression, I mean, it's like shaming people who have broken legs or who have stomach pain or heart problems or literally or cancer. And yeah, it's like that. And there are hundreds of body signals. Those serotonin and dopamine are extreme how important they are, but they work with other body signals. But like, I think this is one of the things that literally frees my mind the most. It gives me calm. It makes me more productive, more aware of my life, more accepting of my life. Even though I'm not trying as hard, this thing makes me more calmer, more balanced. This thing makes my feelings, my internal world way more calmer. And the reason why am I sharing this? There are many reasons, but I think it's really very important to understand our feelings, our happiness, our emotions. Because what's more important than how we feel inside, how we interpret the world inside, etc. And most people think in terms of Stone Age, like not most people, but many people are still stuck in Stone Age. Like we have AI and all that bullshit, and people are like, you are weak for being sad. And this is literally Stone Age, and we like in 2026 thinking that it's embarrassing. And I don't want to shame anybody who thinks that, but like people who shame people for that, like that's brutal. And this is a conversation for hours and hours. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for your precious time, truly. Feel free to hang out with me even more and explore our feelings, thoughts, emotions, happiness, etc. Our this world, how our problems affects us versus our body feelings, and how your problems and your body signals are basically two puzzles behind happiness, and body signals are extremely important, but also it doesn't mean reality doesn't matter, but it's way more complicated, and body signals are extremely important and they affect our feelings and thoughts in extremely measurable way, even by neuroscience. So yeah, take care, especially take care, and I can't wait to catch you soon.